We're kicking off today with former WWE broadcaster Jonathan Coachman, who has made an unbelievable prediction about WWE's future that could spell the end for Triple H. During an appearance on the Two-Man Power Trip of Wrestling podcast, Coachman claimed that a power struggle is building up within TKO that Triple H might end up being on the losing end of, revealing that personal tension between the game and The Rock is a significant factor at the heart of it. He even claimed to have spoken to people involved at that level, shockingly stating that there are backstage plans to remove Triple H from his creative role. The reason I said on my show that there's a big power struggle, Triple H and The Rock don't get along at all. Well, first of all, I've talked to two people close to the situation. I can't tell you who they are, but I've got a really good intel. Within 18 months, Triple H will not be running WWE anymore. I actually kind of feel bad for him because I've always really liked him. The Rock is now a board member for TKO, giving him a significant amount of power, and Coachman believes he hopes his long-term creative partner and former WWE writer Brian Gewirtz will take that role and replace Triple H. Of course, a decision of that magnitude would totally flip WWE's creative structure and everything that fans and the roster have come to know since Vince McMahon's departure. It would also mean no member of the McMahon family would be involved in running the company, but tension between the former in-ring rivals appears to be creeping into the boardroom, which will never end well. Do you think Coachman is onto something, or is Triple H's position more secure than he thinks? Please share your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below. Triple H has been praised for creativity over the years, with many WWE superstars claiming that he's great to work with. There's no doubt he's provided opportunities for many wrestlers who wouldn't have gotten a look during McMahon's era. However, one person he's never truly put the machine behind is LA Knight, despite his overwhelming popularity. According to former WWE head writer Vince Russo during the latest episode of Right with Russo, he thinks there's more to the story than meets the eye. The controversial writer claims to have sources inside WWE Creative that state Triple H isn't a fan of LA Knight, and his personal bias is impacting how far he's being pushed within the company. Russo revealed that competition between the boys can sometimes prevent the right people from being pushed, despite the audience's obvious desire to see certain wrestlers in more prominent positions. In this case, Russo thinks WWE is sabotaging its own momentum over internal politics. Fan support certainly exists for Knight, who is consistently one of the most popular stars on the roster. His merchandise is flying and he gets reactions, yet WWE seems to be hesitant to give him the full spotlight. If Russo's sources are correct, then it sends an alarming message to fans and will lead to questions of who is really calling the shots and why. Do you think Triple H is holding LA Knight back, or is there another reason behind his inconsistent push? Please share your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below. In a terrifying news update, it's been revealed that Roxanne Perez has been doxxed by a crazy stalker who seemingly wants her dead, which has sent alarm bells ringing across the wrestling world. A Twitter account named "Is Roxanne Perez Dead Yet?" actually doxed Perez's home address, which we will not share for the sake of her privacy, and went on to claim that it's unfortunate that she isn't dead yet in a sickening update. However, in an even more disturbing situation, the account has been running a countdown since last week, which proves they have something dangerous on their mind for the final day, Friday, June 6th. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce shared a cryptic tweet on June 5th that hinted that the situation had been acknowledged with action taken, following widespread alerts from fans and journalists alike to the company. Sean Ross Sapp revealed that he raised the alarm to WWE Talent Relations directly, and hopefully the quick thinking of the wrestling journalists helped keep Perez safe. The frightening situation is the latest in an unfortunate growing trend of fans not understanding boundaries after two arrests occurred outside the WWE Performance Center earlier this week. One of those involved a stalker targeting Liv Morgan, which led to federal authorities getting involved, which appears to be where Perez's situation is heading. The news is a harsh reminder to people that no level of fame excuses people's personal safety and privacy from being exposed in this way, regardless of how people feel about the celebrities involved. Perez has grown in popularity rapidly in WWE, but that doesn't mean she needs to deal with threats to her life simply for being a wrestler on television. At this time, WWE is yet to release an official statement, but fans will be monitoring this situation carefully with the expectation that safety measures will be put in place for Perez. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. From the moment CM Punk returned to WWE, Seth Rollins has made his feelings about him publicly known, and despite how long the Best in the World has been around, they haven't changed, as he wants Punk nowhere near his biggest matches. During an appearance on the Up and Adams show with Kay Adams, Rollins opened up on his WWE rival while also revealing that he's done dealing with Punk. Punk is not good for what we do. He's a bad dude. He's not a good dude. I've dealt with CM Punk for far too long. The host of the show questioned why Rollins wouldn't want to face someone like Punk, as he's a great wrestler, but the former Shield member made it clear that not only does he not want to wrestle him, he doesn't want him in WWE, period. Work smarter, not harder. I've dealt with CM Punk for far too long. The guy shouldn't even be in my win space. I want him gone. I want him out of here. He doesn't deserve a spot at a high-profile match like this. The bad blood between these men dates back to when Punk originally quit WWE, and Rollins has been taking public shots at him ever since for departing and leaving the company behind. WWE smartly tapped into those real feelings when Punk returned to create a storyline that fans can easily connect with. Right now, Rollins finds himself working with Punk's former friend Paul Heyman, who turned on Punk and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 41 to align with Seth. Rollins and Heyman have been going from strength to strength since then by adding Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker to the ranks, making it even harder for Punk to make an impact. While the two men don't agree, PW Insider reported a year ago that they had put their differences aside enough to work together, but it remains unknown whether they've managed to resolve their issues while spending so much time together in a professional setting. Whether Rollins' latest comments are just a case of him working or a sign that he still has personal issues with Punk is unclear, but the one thing that is obvious is this rivalry is not going anywhere anytime soon. A disturbing scene involving former WWE superstar Eric Young and a fan took place on the June 5th episode of TNA Impact, and their identity has now been revealed. Young lost an X Division title match against Moose on the show, which led to the veteran having a complete meltdown after the final bell. He ended up approaching someone in the front row and giving them a taste of the action by dragging them over the barricade before stomping them out as other shocked fans watched on in horror. Fans questioned the legitimacy of the segment given how real it looked, but Ringside News has now revealed that the fan was actually an independent wrestler who works under the name of Daddy Davis, who had been acting as a plant. It remains to be seen where TNA will be taking this particular angle, but it's the start of something new for Young, with this being a case of him finally snapping after tension had been bubbling up within him. WWE's decision to move WrestleMania 42 from New Orleans is reportedly set to receive serious backlash from fans as the company prepares to confirm that the event will return to Las Vegas for a second straight year. On the latest episode of WrestleVotes Radio via WrestleBinge, Joey Votes and TC revealed that WWE is carefully planning how to make the announcement, as they know that fans are unlikely to take it well. That's because WrestleMania has become a luxury event unaffordable for many loyal and long-term fans. WWE hasn't confirmed that WrestleMania 42 will be returning to Las Vegas because they're waiting on final agreements for venues. The company aims to replicate the entire setup from 2025, including using the Las Vegas Convention Center for the fan events, which TKO wasn't willing to budge on. However, the main issue that fans have is the cost factor in WrestleMania being in Las Vegas again. Many are now totally priced out of turning up, with WWE catering to a high-end crowd instead. A viral moment with Randy Orton added fuel to the fire recently when a fan revealed they spent $30,000 on WrestleMania tickets, to which Orton said, "It's embarrassing," making it clear he didn't approve of the prices. This is an unparalleled move for the company, with WWE switching cities after WrestleMania 42 had already been confirmed for New Orleans. Opting to choose a more expensive location hasn't been positive, and it doesn't matter when WWE makes the announcement, as the damage has been done. Several wrestlers have seen their contracts be allowed to expire lately in WWE, and the company is doing everything in its power to ensure that doesn't happen to Roman Reigns, but that doesn't mean his future is safe. Hugo Savinovich spoke to Lucha Libre Online about Reigns' situation, claiming that TKO executives are working out how to handle the former Bloodline leader. They don't want to lose his services, but also don't plan to keep paying him his $15 million a year salary. Reigns earns extra money for video game deals, pay-per-view matches, and merchandise, where he gains 30% of all sales, while also making bonuses on international events like those in Saudi Arabia. This is why he earns so much on top of his $5 million base salary. It leaves the tribal chief with a steady amount of money, but WWE may be trying to cut that sooner rather than later, with TKO making cost-cutting decisions. WWE fans have been in an uproar throughout the last week after RTruth was let go by the company. They've been chanting his name and bombarding WWE's social media. However, Teddy Long revealed that the former WWE superstar himself might not be as heartbroken as people think during an appearance on the Road Trip After Hours podcast. "I talked to Truth and he's happy with it," Long said. "I saw his statement that he made after the release, so it's like this with me. If Truth is happy, I love it. So ain't no going back and forth about his release, because talking back and forth or making an argument out of it that don't get that ain't bringing him back. Everybody, if you got any sense at all, you can see what's going on." Additionally, Joey Votes has revealed that it's not in WWE's best interest to mention wrestlers who no longer work for the company. That's why the talent isn't allowed to wear merchandise related to Truth, as that would only bring more attention to the matter. Alexa Bliss's return at the Royal Rumble was one of the most exciting moments of the year in WWE, but it came at a price for Shotzi, as she was supposed to participate in the match until she was replaced at the last minute. She admitted to Daria and Tori Unwrapped that Bliss had no idea she'd taken her spot in the match, and she felt so bad afterward that she took the time to personally apologize to Shotzi. Joe Hendry losing the TNA World title to a WWE superstar was a huge deal, and this week, the popular wrestler finally addressed the elephant in the room during the latest episode of TNA Impact in a tense backstage segment. The Scottish wrestler was alone, and he showcased a more vulnerable side to himself. The bravado, the singing, and the fan participation were all put to one side, as he admitted to letting everyone down against Trick Williams. I lost the TNA World Championship to Trick Williams, and it's hard for me because this last year has been a whirlwind. I just felt we were taking TNA to new heights, and now the World Championship is in the hands of someone that does not work here. Hendry went on to claim that the defeat had impacted him professionally and was also a personal problem. I was supposed to be the team captain, and I'm the one that dropped the ball. I let myself down, I let those fans down that believed in me, I let my peers down. Hendry clarified that he still has his eyes on TNA's top prize as he pushed his desire to reclaim the gold, but simultaneously, he could admit that he was not the next in line for a shot at Williams' title. I want nothing but to get another shot at Trick Williams, but I understand that's not my spot right now. Elijah is next and he deserves it, and I support him at against all odds. Hendry might have been pouring his heart out to the fans, but that's something Frankie Kazarian didn't care about, as he tore him to pieces in a brutal verbal takedown straight after. The veteran made it clear he thought Hendry was hiding behind self-hate after Hendry claimed he'd take TNA to a new level. The former AEW star mocked Hendry for acting like a hero and stated that Hendry's not a saint while claiming himself as a king. However, Kazarian took things to a new level by stating that Hendry was bullied in school and would find comfort and safety in watching him wrestle, while reminding Hendry that he once looked up to him. The two men are set to meet at Against All Odds, and Kazarian revealed that he'll embarrass Hendry once again that night. It was a memorable segment with Hendry's emotional message making it clear how much the title meant to him, while he was also able to show fans a different side of himself. However, Kazarian doesn't care, and having him try to crush whatever pride Hendry has left is a great follow-up storyline. Elijah, who formerly worked in WWE as Elias, will be the man stepping up next to try and bring the TNA World title back to the company at Against All Odds, and he had some words of warning for Trick Williams this week. He blended a typical promo with music, claiming to be a hunter who doesn't allow lions to see the light of day. Williams is the lion in this case, and Elijah made it clear he thinks Williams is starting to crack, stating that he's been in the trenches against wrestling gods, while Williams is simply playing dress-up. In WWE news, Goldberg has hit a significant obstacle as he gears up for his retirement match later this year, threatening to jeopardize the entire thing. The Hall of Famer claims his match is locked in now, he knows the date, and he's working hard to get physically ready for it. Goldberg admitted to CarCast that he's been in and out of the ring lately to get in shape, but he has hurt himself multiple times in doing so. He admitted it's unrealistic to reach the high bar he's set for himself, and the fact that he suffered bicep, hamstring, and shoulder injuries during his Muay Thai training alone isn't a good sign. In more injury news, an unfortunate update has been provided for Zoey Stark. WWE sources believe that she will not be fit enough to participate in WrestleMania 42 next year, showcasing the severity of the situation. She sustained her knee injury on the May 19th episode of Raw after landing awkwardly following a missile dropkick, with her knee visibly buckling as she landed. In AEW news, Kamille has been off television for over 6 months, and rumors are going wild about her having backstage heat with Mercedes Moné. However, her absence might have been for a totally different reason, one that has nothing to do with backstage politics. That's because Fightful Select has revealed she's been quietly working on a television project that has been keeping her away from AEW throughout part of the summer. Much like Wardlow, she's booked and busy, but AEW talent reportedly didn't know much about it. This update might kill Disco Inferno's previous claims that Kamille had annoyed AEW officials by exaggerating WWE's interest in her during her negotiations. The impressive performer was last seen on an episode of AEW Rampage in November of last year, where she was taken out backstage to write her off of television. Kamille had been talked about as a potential opponent for Moné, but that never happened, despite the former WWE superstar being open to the possibility. However, Kamille still has time on her AEW deal, which might lead to that match happening down the line. Kamille has only wrestled once since her absence from AEW television, and the door remains open for her return to the company. Her absence has sparked plenty of questions in the past year, but it's clear she's chasing other goals right now. WWE's partnership with TNA has been working well so far, but Robert Stone believes it could all be pushing towards something much bigger, such as an acquisition. WWE recently purchased AAA, and during an appearance with 10 Count Media, Stone admitted that anything could happen as all bets are off right now due to the sport's popularity. We are finally ending with London Mayor Sadiq Khan, who continues to publicly push for WrestleMania to take place in England's capital city. He spoke to CNBC's Tanya Breyer, where he once again made it clear that they want the show in London.